So with this pant leg, this is our half scale version of the women's flat front pant. And what we're going to do here, we're going to add some fullness into the waist, but we're going to, rather than our previous video, we did it from the knee, this time we're going to do it all the way from the ankle. And that means that the knee will get wider as well as just the top section here. All right, so we just need to mark in our hem there and the grain line. Mark for the grain line. This is our knee, and then at the top here. Now I only need these 3 points because I'm working in half scale. Where did that go? I'm sure there was a point there. If you're working with full scale though, you'll obviously need to put in a few more points. So what we'll do here, we'll add in 4 centimeters in total, full scale. So it'll be a 4 centimeter pleat that it will be then 2 centimeters deep.
So is this half scale or full scale?
That's full scale. So 2
2
centimeters here for, yes, half scale. Thanks, Libby. So to do that, we just need to have our guide here. So we're going to do just a little guide. So 1 centimeter each side for half scale, 2 centimeters each side for full scale. And then we'll go all the way to the hem here, and we're going to pivot, and we'll pivot to the right first. And our grain line will match up with our reference point here. And then we can draw in our leg all the way to the hem there. Okay, that's on that side. Then we have to go back to our center position again. You have to do this in 2 steps. And from the hem here, again, we pivot across to our reference line at the top. And then we draw in the rest of the leg there. And I didn't. Just need to have my hip reference notch there, and that inside leg reference point as well. And now if we put the block back in the middle, you can see that we've added to the waist. It's made it wider through the crotch, and all the way down half as much at knee level, and then back to 0 at the bottom, and the same on the other side. 1 centimeter, getting down to about half a centimeter at the knee, and then back to 0 at the hem. What this has done though at the hem, it's just like a quick fix, because we've gone out both ways this way, it means that the hem is now slightly angled. So just what we have to do is just even that up. And I know like it's literally like a millimeter here in half scale, but it'll probably be 2 to 3 millimeters in full scale, because then we'll want to add a hem onto that. And of course that means that this line here will be the fold line, and you can't fold around a curve or a corner, so we'll just have to straighten that between the 2 points there. If you did want lots of fullness, what we could have done here, we could have had a reference point at the bottom as well as at the waist, and so we could have just taken that across on both sides here and added all of the fullness from the waist, added that into the hem as well. And that means, like, I'll just draw that in, not all the way to the top, but you can see that by coming across like that, I'm getting in more fullness. If this doesn't make sense and you sort of think that you want to add in lots more fullness, you can talk to one of us about that as well.
For a wider leg pant, that's a quick way of doing it, isn't it?
Just just blocking it all the way down.
Yeah.
You still make it a pleat at the waist, but you just get more fullness in the hem and through the knee and thigh as well. So this one, I'll just cross those out so we don't get confused. And then what we're going to do at the waist is when we want our pleat here, we actually want the pleat, we want the fold of the pleat to be down the center front here. So what we're going to do, and it might seem a little bit odd, but we're going to rub out our reference points and we're going to move our pleat over. So now the fold will be on the center front, and then our placement will be 2 centimeters over. So we'll be folding our pleat from here to here. And the reason we're doing that is so that the fold of the pleat stays on the center front grain. So this is like it gives you a really solid, sharp pleat. If we kept our original one over here, when we went to iron it, it would be, this would, at the knee level, this would be halfway, but then it would twist off to one side when we folded the pleat. And because you've got that pleat edge as, it's slightly off kilter, it will twist and just not create a great look. So we're just moving this over so that the pleat fold is on the center front there. Now we're just going to add in some more fullness. So we've got a 1.5 centimeter gap here between the pleats, or 3 centimeters full scale, and then we want a 3 centimeter pleat full scale, or 1.5 centimeters half scale. So this will be the fold here, and it'll pleat over to there. And then really that's just for a bit more of a look or a design detail into the waist. So you don't need to put this in, but if you want to, this is how you do it.
A lot of full pants have 2 pleats, don't they?
Yeah, it's a bit of a look. I think, yes, potentially women's pants might have more. Might only have one, but it's just another option for you. So what we had to do there, because this amount for this pleat we just took out of the waist, so we made the waist that much smaller. So what we did, we continued our line up here, and we added in whatever this measurement here, so the 1.5 there, we brought that out from the side seam out. And then because we then needed this to be a new side seam, we had to join that up with the hip, and that joined with a straight line to take it back into the outside leg there. Okay, and then just as a check, one last thing to do there is just to make sure that from the hip up, the front and the back are the same length. And you can see there just that tiny bit of difference there. So what we'll do, I can pick up my grading ruler, is just match the front to the back there. So the back hasn't become any longer, but the front has become a little bit shorter. And this side seam's now been replaced. So I'd rub that out, otherwise it can get a bit confusing. And now with this new side seam from the hip up, this is where you start putting in your pocket. So if you've got a cutaway pocket, it'll come down here, or if it's an inseam pocket, you'll just need to add in, like your 2 notches for your internal pocket there.